Today I would like to give you the 19 sessions from Daniskov on dairy technology. Today I would like to talk about how the eyes are formed in different types of cheeses and why there's in some cheeses no eyes. The formation of the eyes, of course, is caused by the aroma bacteria that forms the CO2. The CO2 is into the moisture, and as it is released, then some weak point it will collect, and if the CO2 amount is fairly large and produced fast, then we will have lots of small holes all over. While if it's slowly developed, it will form in a few places, and as such it's desirable to have it that way. Lots of times you can see on the hole formation in the cheese how well the cheese will develop, and that together with the flavor and other things that gives the cheese its characteristic, you can say that this is going to be a good or not as good a cheese. Now the hole formation or eye formation, I should call it, is done in different ways. Now, normally, if you desire nice round holes with the size of a penny, you have to make sure that the curd is pressed under the whey. That way it keeps warm and it will mat together evenly, and you will not have the difficulties of having certain groups of areas that are cooled down so that it don't mat together, and might have some areas that are not as evenly looking as the rest. In other cheeses, these cheeses there that has the hole formation would be the Gouda, the Danbo, Finbo, whatever cheeses fall into that category, and some of the Swiss cheeses and Emmentaler, and they are formed that way with the pressing of the curd under the whey. In other cheeses, which we call the fish cheeses, an example is the Havarti. There the curd is fished up either by hand or by pumping the whey and the curd together over to a pressing table. Now, normally when you're pumping it over, it is then running over a screen so that the whey is separated from it. And with the Havarti, the desirable thing is to have the curd cool down so it doesn't mat together as the other types of cheeses I was talking about before. That way you have an open texture, and there still the CO2 formation can take place, but it will go into the areas that have been weakened by it not matting together properly. The other cheeses would be like the cheddar. There, of course, there shouldn't be any holes in there. If there is holes, it's normally considered a defect. And of course, there it can be done by any contamination that might form some air pockets that is not desirable. But the reason why we don't have any holes or eyes in cheddar is because there is no aroma bacteria. It's only pure lactic acid bacteria that are forming the acid, and then going to the chatterizing and all what you know about that. That is how it is achieved. The CO2 that are formed in there, of course, can come in different amounts, and depending on the starter culture that you're using, the desired amount of CO2 is then produced. Now the manufacturer of the cultures have made specific cultures for different types of cheeses, and you can, by asking the representative for the type of culture that is meant for the particular type of cheese that you are after. Now there is some areas that you should pay attention to, and these are the ones when you are using the milk, is to make sure that it doesn't contain any inhibitors, so that the culture can grow at full strength. Also, different cleaning chemicals can affect starter cultures, and if they are in the milk, of course, they will work just like the inhibitor. The same goes for antibiotics that are used to treat cows for mastitis. Now, I hope this gives you some idea about the eye formation and the cheese, but should you have more questions, you can go to our website, www.daniskov.com. Now, I hope this is helping you in the future, and if you like it, please put a like in on the thing here, and you can also go to our website, and under more about me, you can click on that, and if you want to do a donation, you're welcome to do so. $1 will do. Have a good day. Bye.